Welcome back, everyone, and get ready for another episode of the New Motorcycle Riders Podcast, where we dive deep into all things motorcycle related. We have a very informative topic today, but before we start, hit that subscribe and notification button to stay on top of our latest podcast topics and discussions. We upload new podcasts weekly, and it doesn't cost you anything to join in. Plus, it really helps us to reach out to help more motorcyclists. Also, if you have a motorcycle-related topic you'd like to hear discussed on our podcast, please send me a message to andrew@newmotorcycleriders.com and let's make that happen. Again, thank you for joining us on our podcast, and please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to check out our book, New Motorcycle Riders, Motorcycling for Beginners. It's available at Amazon and major bookstores. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about that motorcycle you want. You found the perfect bike for you, and now you're asking yourself, should I pay cash or finance my motorcycle? What the real question is can I pay cash? If not, then the only real question is, how do I finance my motorcycle? Make no mistake, just because you can pay cash doesn't mean you should. Now, you're going to hear people say things like, cash is king. In the world of money, there are no definites, only best options for your situation. But for the sake of this conversation, let's say you can't pay cash. The rules of finance are pretty simple. You want to pay back the least amount of money over the amount you finance, aka finance charge. To make it even simpler, forget the percentage rate number because that can fool you. That number means nothing if you don't know how it is applied. The simpler way to figure out is to multiply the payment amount times the term, meaning the number of payments. Now subtract from that number the amount you borrowed. This will give you the exact amount of interest you're paying on the money you borrowed. Now that you have a clearer picture of how much that motorcycle is costing you, there is something else you should be aware of. It's a term referred to as being upside down in your loan. What that means is you owe more on your motorcycle than you can sell it for. This is where the down payment comes in at. Try to at least put down enough money on your motorcycle so your loan never exceeds the value of your motorcycle. This is also helpful with your motorcycle insurance. Should something happen to your motorcycle insurance will only pay up to the book value of your motorcycle unless you have gap insurance. Gap insurance coverage on your motorcycle pays the book value plus the difference of what's owed on the loan in the case of a total loss. Now I'm going to circle back and talk about the cash option and why, even though you can pay for it in cash, and why you may not want to do that. Everyone's situation is different, but if paying cash is going to leave you completely cashless, then consider financing some of the costs. Some emergencies come up and cash is your only option. It's always good to have some cash reserved or means to have financial resources in the case of an emergency. Well, that's going to do it for today's podcast, folks. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. Please leave a comment below about the episode or anything you thought, that I may have missed. Maybe there's something more you'd like to add to this. Also contact me at andrew@newmotorcycleriders.com if there's something in particular you would like to hear discussed on our podcast. Maybe you'd like to be a guest on our podcast. Let us know. Always be safe and enjoy your ride.